back with the review. Today I'll be talking about Burn by Yrsa Daley-Ward. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name right, so if you do know how to pronounce her name right, please tell me how to say it in the comments below. I never know how to review poetry, so I'm going to try my best. So this book's themes basically are about love, good and bad love, family issues, as well as mental health and mental illness. And going into this book, I did have high expectations. And not that it didn't meet my expectations, it's just that I'm still struggling how to measure it in terms of like the writing and the form and the length of it as well. So yeah, but one of the things that I did enjoy about the book is that she talks about like being in love with women and men, and I really think that's important just like generally in poetry. And one of my goals for next year is that I want to read more poetry that's written by people in the LGBTQ plus community. And one of the issues that I had with the book is that Yrsa Daley-Ward is really good in terms of writing long narrative poetry, but the issue is that she does fall short in writing like short poems, because there is an emergence of like short poems in most of the poets who write nowadays. So people will just like write a few lines and then that will be the poem. And I think that it is kind of weak in terms of that, but in terms of like the long narrative poetry, she's amazing. She's excellent in that, and I think that she needs to actually focus more on that and leave the short form things like aside, because they aren't working, especially for me. And and then another issue that I did have with the book is that the titles of the poems weren't memorable, meaning that the poem would be really, really good, but then I wouldn't remember what the title was. Because one of my favorite poems from the book is about these three people. So there's like this wife and the husband who are married, and then the wife finds out that the husband was she thinks that he was in an affair, but he wasn't. But he was basically dressing up as a woman and playing with his gender expression and everything. And the wife goes to church, and the church people basically cause shit. And I thought that poem was so excellent because it's told through the three perspectives of like the wife, the husband, and one of the other guy who was just like making clothes and also just like having come to himself and like knowing who he was, and then this shit happened. And that poem was so fucking good, but I don't remember the title. But I'm gonna go back to the book, I'm gonna read it again, I'm gonna like do annotations because I think that will really, really help me. And so overall, I did think that in terms of titles, she really needs to work on that, or rather make the poems untitled. Yeah, I was about to say untitledness, and I remember that's not a word. And then I also think that the poetry book, I don't think that it's that long, but it is still long at the same time. And I really like the what did I also like? I really love the narrative style. I also really loved her exploring family issues between her mom, dad, brother, and I thought those poems were really brilliant and really strong. And I think she needs to probably dabble between that. I would have loved if she had dabbled in the family issues as well as in in the love part, like in terms of like loving someone what it means to love someone in a good way, and like loving someone in a bad way as well, because she really writes well about that, like not about toxic love generally, but like sometimes you can love a person but it's still not good, like things don't work out. And I thought that she really did well in those kind of things. And as I said before, I really like that she also writes about being in love with women. I think that's like really important. Relationships between other like people from the same genders or like differently, but like because I think she's a bi, but yeah, I'm not gonna assume her whatever sexual orientation at the same time. I won't rate this book yet. I don't think I'm not gonna rate it, but I want to go back to it. And if you've read this book, tell me what you think. what you've been reading, and I'll see you next time. Bye.